I'm grounded in compassion, centered in compassion, 'cause the most important person is me.
Welcome, everyone, beautiful people out there, to Real Life, Real Compassion. All right, so today we're going to be looking into how we're responding and embracing our life, all of it, because this is real life. This is real stuff that matters in our everyday lives. This is a space where we talk about the stress. We take a look at the frustrations, the emotional weights that we all carry. And also we, look at the growth. We look at the moments of joy and motivation, the self-awareness and the quiet shifts happening within us. Because we're not talking about perfection here. We're just talking about this thing we call life. Real people, real lives, learning how to meet it all with compassion. So thanks for joining me. As you listen today, just note that this is an offering, not a prescription. This is a space of reflection. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And perhaps allow yourself to simply notice where you are in your life right now and what could possibly serve to, expand it. This week in our Compassion Pause series, we were talking and, walking through a theme called Embracing Life, all of it. And each day we approach that from a different angle. Monday, we were talking about trusting life, not rejecting the parts of our experience that feel difficult. Then on Tuesday, we explored how unexpected moments, frustrations, how they can become teachers in our lives. Wednesday, we made space for what's happening in our bodies and allowing it without pushing it away. Thursday, we leaned into the truth of being exactly who we are. And then Friday, we celebrated something powerful. That what we may look, we call a mess, is actually our authentic self, and celebrating it, embracing it. So today, we bring all of that into real life, because at some point, this practice becomes how we live. So let me paint a picture. As we've been moving through this week, taking time to pause, to reflect, to sit with ourselves, even for a few moments, something subtle has actually been happening. You've been making visible the very things that are shaping your everyday life, not by force, but through practice. And what we know through neuroscience and compassion training is this: practice is not passive, practice is formative. As you pause, as you notice, as you reappraise, you are quite literally beginning to establish a new neural pathway, new ways of seeing, new ways of interpreting, new ways of responding. And over time, you may start to notice something. You don't react as quickly. You don't carry things as long. You don't feel the same urgency to fix, defend, or explain. And this isn't random. This is what happens when compassion-based practices begin to shape both the brain and the body. So we're not just thinking differently. You're beginning to embody something differently. And that's why I keep saying do these over again, because you'll notice it in your breath, in the space between what happens and how you respond, in the way your body settles before your words even form. Ask me how I know? Personally. Because one day you'll find yourself in a moment that would have pulled you in before, and instead you'll pause. And that's when you realize something in me has changed. I saw something that says, I'm at this place this week. You've reached a place where, you're not arguing over everything. You're not trying to prove your point. You've moved mindful, of you. You're like mindful of the energy. You're choosing peace more often, not because you've checked out, but because you've grown. And this shift is supported, actually, as always, me, through research. Studies on cognitively reappraisal shows that when we change how we interpret a situation, we reduce emotional reactivity in the brain. Research by Osna Gross tends to, I'm sorry, trends in cognitive science, let me say it that way, demonstrates decreased activity in the amygdala and increased regulation from the prefrontal cortex. This means you're not just letting things go, you're developing the capacity to respond with intention instead of reaction. Don't that feel good? To be able to have that type of control. And what we're talking about here is what I always say, grounded in cognitively based compassion training, CBCT, which was developed at Emory University. Specifically, this week's practices are drawing from Module 2, Developing Stable and Clear Attention, strengthening the ability to pause. And then we had Module 3, which was enhancing self-awareness, recognizing patterns in thoughts and emotions. We shifted on into Module 4, cultivating self-compassion, responding to ourselves with kindness. And then Module 5, the reappraisal of our experience, interpreting situations in a way that reduces our suffering. And you may not have looked at it that way. Because what you're experiencing, that pause, that shift, that different response, that's not accidental. That's the result of trained awareness and intentional reappraisal. You may not have called it training, but your practice this week has already been shaping how you live. We should celebrate that because you begin to realize I don't have to respond to everything. I don't have to carry everything. I don't have to prove who I am. And that's not disconnection. That's alignment with peace. Because choosing peace is not about weakness. It's awareness. It's discernment. It's growth. So maybe today, you simply acknowledge this. I don't respond like I used to. I can choose what deserves my energy. I can meet life as it is without losing myself in it. And this is what it means to live out, embracing life. All of it, not just in theory, but in how you show up. We're going to be creating a school platform where we can show up collectively as a community. I will be bringing you more information on that. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I hope this has been something that's been beneficial to you and from all of us at Compassion Center. May your heart stay open. May your spirit stay at peace. And may you live each day as a vessel of love, fully alive, fully free. See you next time.
I'm grounded in compassion, centered in compassion, 'cause the most important person is me.